All right, today we've got a really powerful story for you. It's about faith, it's about secrets, and what happens when a marriage that starts with an actual miracle gets pushed to its absolute breaking point. Let's dive right in. So, you have this marriage that, right from the get-go, feels like it was orchestrated by a higher power. But it gets tested, and I mean really tested, by some very human moments. To get what happens, we got to go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We've got two people living completely different lives. They have absolutely no idea that a single prayer is about to connect them in the most unbelievable way.
On one side, you've got Johnson. He's a man of deep faith, and he's seriously praying for God to show him who his wife is going to be. And then there's Alberta. She's trapped in a really tough life, a situation that's described as being like a spiritual cage. I mean, their worlds could not be further apart. And then, one night, everything changes. Johnson has this incredibly vivid dream. He sees a woman in a white dress inside a cage. And for him, this isn't just a dream, it's a spiritual battle. He wakes up and he is convinced. He starts praying with everything he has, declaring that his future wife is now free from whatever was holding her back. He has no clue who she is, but in his mind, he's just won a huge victory for her.
Now, how this prayer actually gets answered is, well, it's just wild. It's like a chain reaction of impossible coincidences. So check this out. Johnson's pastor goes to another city, stays in a hotel room. After the pastor leaves, Alberta, by complete chance, checks into that exact same room. And while she's there, she has this powerful spiritual experience that just completely changes her life. The hotel receptionist is so struck by the change that they call the pastor, who then starts mentoring Alberta. And eventually, he brings her to his church, and that's the moment Johnson sees her for the very first time. It's the woman from his dream.
So you'd think that'd be it, right? But Alberta's hesitant. She's got a complicated past. So she says a simple, incredibly vulnerable prayer. She decides, okay, I'm going to tell him everything, the whole story. And she trusts that if Johnson is really the one God has for her, he'll accept her, baggage and all. And you know what? He does. They get married. It really seems like their story was written in the stars.
But, a miracle beginning doesn't always guarantee a fairy tale ending. The wedding bells fade, and what follows is a really, really tough period that is going to test their faith in ways they never saw coming.
For 5 years. 5 whole years, they pray for a child, but nothing happens. And you can just imagine how that hope slowly starts to fizzle out, turning into doubt, and then that doubt just hardens into pure frustration. The very foundation of their marriage, which was built on this incredible faith, starts to crack under the pressure.
The breaking point comes out of nowhere. One morning, Alberta is excited and tells Johnson that some friends of theirs just had a baby boy. For anyone else, this is happy news, but for Johnson, it's like a trigger.
And he just explodes. All that frustration from 5 years of waiting just comes pouring out. He questions everything, their marriage, their faith, and he puts the blame squarely on Alberta. In this moment of total pain, he says that's it. They're done praying. It's time to see a doctor.
So, this decision to get medical tests, this is where the story takes a dark turn. It sets the stage for the climax, where a secret is about to come out, and blame is going to be thrown around in the most painful way you can imagine.
They both go for the tests. And when the results come back, the envelope is handed to Alberta. She's the one who opens it. And in that one moment, with that one piece of paper, she alone learns the truth.
And this is the twist that is just absolutely brutal. The report is clear. Alberta is perfectly fine. She is medically fit to have children. Her past had nothing to do with it. The medical issue, the report says, lies with Johnson.
So, what do you do? I mean, really, put yourself in her shoes for a second. What would you do? She's terrified that this news would just completely shatter her husband's faith. So she makes an unbelievable choice. She hides the report. She decides to carry this massive secret all by herself just to protect him.
But her silence creates a vacuum, and Johnson, he fills it with the worst possible assumption. Believing the problem has to be with her, he confronts her with these just unbelievably cruel words. He blames her past, accusing her of bringing this on them. He has no idea how tragically, devastatingly wrong he is.
And those words, they're like a sledgehammer to what's left of their marriage. The fallout from his false judgment and from her secret is immediate, and it is catastrophic. The silence in their house must have been deafening. The tension just unbearable. And then one day, a piece of paper falls out of Johnson's pocket. Alberta picks it up, and her world falls apart.
It's a notice of divorce. He was planning to leave her without even telling her.
That's it. That's the final straw. Heartbroken. Alberta knows she can't protect him anymore. She goes, gets the medical report, and just hands it to him. He reads it, and in one single gut-wrenching moment, his whole world, his whole understanding of the last 5 years, just comes crashing down.
But you'd think the truth would bring relief, right? Nope, not even close. It brings an avalanche of shame. The weight of his accusations, the cruelty of his words, the secret plan to just abandon her, it's too much. He is so crushed by guilt, he just leaves. He disappears, convinced he can never be forgiven.
So he's gone. The truth is finally out, but it seems like it's just made things worse. The damage just feels permanent. I mean, is there any way back from this? Is it too late?
But wait, just when you think all hope is lost, the story takes its final turn. After hitting rock bottom, the path to healing finally begins. And it doesn't start with more blame, it starts with a desperate search for forgiveness.
So what does Alberta do? She goes back to the one person who connected them in the first place, their pastor. But when she gets there, she finds Johnson is already there. He's weeping, confessing everything. And their pastor, their spiritual father, he sits them down and helps them navigate this immense pain, guiding them back to that shared faith that first brought them together.
And through this incredibly difficult process of truth and repentance and just radical forgiveness, they start to rebuild their marriage. And then, 1 year later, the very miracle they have been waiting for, the one that almost destroyed them, finally arrives. They welcome their child into the world.
And that really leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? This story is such a powerful look at how easily judgment can poison everything, our faith, our love. But it's also an incredible testament to the idea that even when things seem completely broken, the truth, no matter how much it hurts, combined with real forgiveness, well, it has the power to not just heal, but to create miracles of its own.